Hi there. Today I thought I would share how to do viewport scrolling in Godot when the player leaves the edge of the viewport. I'm going to show how to do this using only stock nodes that come with Godot. I'm using version 4.6, but this should work for just about any version. I've made the source code for this demo available up on GitHub. Link is in the description below. I also want to point out that there is more than one way to do something in Godot, and this is the way I found that works for me. You may have another way that works just as well. Now let's get started. As you can see, I have a very basic level scene using a node 2D, a tile map layer for the walls, and a player that's a standard character body 2D scene. The part that actually does all of the work is the camera scene, which you'll notice is not a child of the player in this case. Now what we want to know are two pieces of information: when the player has left the viewport and in which direction did they go. And we can get both pieces of information at once. Let's take a look at the camera scene. You can see that it's a standard camera 2D with an area 2D and a collision shape 2D. The collision shape is set to the size of the viewport, but we'll also make sure of that in the code. Looking at the script for the camera, we grab the size of the viewport and store it in a variable called screen size. And here we get our area 2D and connect it to the body exited signal. Now I've gone ahead and set this area 2D to only listen for our player, so we can guarantee that there's nothing else that's going to fire off this signal. And lastly, in our ready function, we resize our collision shape so it has the exact size as our viewport. You can also adjust this to bring it in a few pixels if you want. That's up to you. This way the collision shape will always be the size of the viewport, even if you change it in the project settings. Which brings us to the onPlayerLeave function. We know that if this gets called, the player is leaving the viewport. So we've already answered one of our questions. We have a vector variable called moveTarget, which is set to the offset of the camera here. We'll need this later. Now we just need to know in which direction, and we can go from there. We get a variable referencing the player, so we can take that and get a normalized vector from the velocity of the player. By normalizing the vector, we automatically get the direction the player was headed and can act accordingly. Then we can take the direction and see if they were going up, down, left, or right, and add or subtract one viewport size in either the width or the height. This will tell the camera where to move the offset. Before we move the camera, I disable the player so they can't do anything while this is happening. I also disable the Area 2D's collision mask so we don't get any possible misfires. This might be overkill, but I like to make sure things are safe. Then we create a tween and tween the camera's offset property to the move target. And I have a variable called scroll time, which is up top, saying how long it should take, which you can change in the inspector because I've made it exported. And once the tween has finished moving, we move the area 2D as well to the same place with the global position variable that is in the area 2D. Then we turn the collision mask back on, and then we turn the physics process back on for the player so they can do what they need to do. And that's it in a nutshell. It's really simple, but I realize also this can be overlooked by a lot of people. We're just moving the offset of the camera one viewport size at a time in either the left, right, up, or down directions. That's it.